Hello, guys. Sorry for taking a whole year to post. Anyways, today we're going to be using models to divide integers, alright? So, one of the models used to divide integers is the bank model. This is a bank model. It's when you have this square like this, and in the square you add like groups of things. I cannot draw to save my life. I'm sorry. Let's just erase that. Okay. So, I'm going to have a text box. Never mind. All right. So, this is basically a bank. It's just a group, and inside of it are groups of things. So, for example, we have two steps in dividing. When dividing two integers, the first numbers tells us what we want to end up having in the bank. So over here, to make you understand better, minus 12 divided by minus 4. The first number tells us how much we want to end up having in the bank. So if you look over here, there is 12 negative integers, okay? When dividing two integers, the second number tells us the size of the groups we are moving. Minus 4 minus 4. So minus 4, each group has minus 4 inside. All right. So when we're looking at minus 12 divided by minus 4, I'll be very careful. We have a bank and we want to have 12 integers. Okay. But we also want 4 integers in each group. I'm going to write it in here. In each group. Okay. Do you get it? All right. The minus 4 tells us we're moving sets of 4 and negatives. So they're like explaining it really weird. I don't know why. That's weird. What do we want to do with our sets of 4 negatives to end up with 12 negatives in the bank? We have to add 3 sets of negative 4 to the bank. Depositing in the bank, adding is positive. So minus 12 divided by minus 4 equals plus 3. Now I have minus 6 divided by plus 2. So ignore whatever this tells you. Let's do it together over here in this blank space. Over here I have, I'm just going to look at the thing again. I forgot what. Minus 6 divided by plus 2. All right. It's not working. What's happening? Okay. Minus 6. I don't have a division sign. I'm just going to do this. Divided by plus 2. All right. Let's do that. So over here we have minus 6. So minus 6 is how much integers we want to have in total. How much integers we want to have in total. And I'm just gonna move that baby to in front of minus 6. And then plus 2 is how much integers is in each group. Now, very confusing, I know. I was confused too, but let's go back to the first example. Minus 12 divided by minus 4. So in minus 12, we have, if you count all of the integers over here, it amounts to minus 12, okay? But in each group, there is minus 4. That's it. That's basically it. So what we want to find out is how much groups there are that has minus 4 in each of them. But for our case, how much groups have plus 2 in them? Now let's look at how the paper did it. The minus 6 tells us we want to end up with 6 negatives in the bank at the end, like how we said. The plus 2 tells us we are moving 2 sets of positives. All right, so this is kind of confusing, but we'll get through it together. We cannot add sets of plus 2 to the bank and end up with minus 6 at the end. What can we do? We're going to add 0 pairs. until there is a total of 6 negatives in the bank. We are removing 3 sets of 2 positives from the bank. Withdrawing from the bank is negative. So minus 6 divided by plus 2 equals negative 3. Okay, now I did not process that. I think you did not too, because we're all just peanut brains. We cannot add. I don't even know why I'm doing this, bro. I have a math quiz tomorrow. 1 second. I've got to reignite my thought. Okay, I'm back. Anyways, so we cannot add sets of plus 2. If you know what they're talking about, minus 6, as we said, minus 6 is in the bank. We have a bank, and the amount of integers in the bank is minus 6. But all the groups have plus 2 in them. So how can the bank have a total of minus 6 integers when each group has only plus 2? That's how we use zero pairs. So we are going to be adding as much zero pairs as we need, which is a plus integer and a negative integer. I'm sorry, this is a negative and that's a plus. Okay. We're going to add as much as we can to supply us with 6 negative integers. Oopsies. There we are. 6 negative integers. Now, we are going to, as it says, we can add 0 pairs to the bank until there is a total of 6 negatives in the bank. We are removing 3 sets of 2 positives from the bank. Withdrawing from the bank is negative. So because there's plus 2, we have to take 3 sets of 2 from the bank. Take it all away. Bye-bye. You may hate it, but it ain't no lie. Bye-bye. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, over here, I'm going insane. Anyways, so because we took all the positive numbers away, if you don't understand, the amount in the bank is minus 6, right? This is division. If we have to get rid of the positive integers and the 0 pairs, so we can have a total of minus 6. And basically, if there's plus 2 in each bank, but we made it a 0 pair instead, one second, I cannot draw. This is so bad. Oh my, he's bad. Okay, 1 second. 1 second. Okay, that's 1. Okay. So, because we can only have minus 6 in the bank, we have to get rid of all the positives. And we're going to count up how much we have, how much groups we have. To double check, we're going to count the negative integers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6. 6, 7, never mind. Okay, there's 3 groups, which means that minus 6 divided by plus 2 is equal to plus 3. Negative 3, I mean. Sorry. Subtracting is negative. Withdrawing from the bank is negative. We are removing 3 sets of 2 positives from the bank, which means that it's negative. Now let's do this one. 8 divided by minus 4. The plus 8 tells us we want to end up with 8 positives in the bank at the end. All right? So this is 8. This is how much integers are going to be in this bank in the end, after all the equations. The minus 4 tells us we're removing 4 sets of negatives. That means each group has to have negative 4. We cannot add sets of negative 4 to make plus 8 in the bank. Instead, we add 0 pairs, like the minus 6 plus 2 thing, until there is a total of 8 positives in the bank. We remove 2 sets of 4 negatives from the bank, and there will be 8 positives remaining. Withdrawing from the bank is negative. So plus 8 divided by minus 4 equals minus 2. Let's do this together now. Plus 8. In total, there has to be 8 positive integers in the bank. But every single group has to have negative 4. We cannot do that, so instead we make 0 pairs. We're fulfilling the negatives and the positive sides. This is a 0 pair, by the way, a positive and a negative integer. If we add 4 0 pairs, we can have negative 4 and plus 4. And if there's 2 groups of that, that will become plus 8. But basically, negatives cancel positives out, so we have to get rid of the negatives for it to become truly a plus 8. Since we are withdrawing from the bank, subtracting the integers,